Morning folks, Greg here from Port Elizabeth area in South Africa. Really a weekend farmer here, but I just want to go about the process of building a cattle kraal or facility out of wooden poles. I know that in most cases this is done with steel, but yeah, we're very close to the coast, so rust is a problem. So I like building my kraals out of poles. And yeah, I think over the last few years I found an innovative way of doing it. Looks neat and tidy, it's very effective, and I'd like to take you through that process. So first of all, just what tools are necessary. Obviously 2 dogs is a must, but yeah, we'll start with the generator. We need power here for the drilling, for the cutting. Very important, obviously a decent tape measure. A 30mm spade bit. I got a 12mm kind of lengthy bit that can drill through 2 or 3 poles at once. G-clamps, this is really the trick to building these kind of kraals. Also chalk, extremely important, just for drawing on poles and for marking out correctly. Then I've got a post drill, which again is something that's absolutely effective. Angle grinder, just for cutting off thread bars. Chainsaw for cleaning off poles, and then probably lastly and most importantly 12mm thread bar. The thread bar I use is fairly cheap. It's you can cut it to any length you want. Obviously you just buy these nuts in bulk, as you do with the washers. So very important, just to make sure that everything is secured properly. But that's pretty much it, and with all of that we can really get on and build some proper kraals. And the trick here is that I want to show you how to do it on your own. A lot of places you do have farm hands. Yeah, I tend to try and do whatever I can on my own and simplify the farm as much as possible. So probably one of the most effective tools here in making sure lines are straight is the use of a string. Generally when I put these poles in, I'll pull a string line across just to make sure that the tops of the poles are all 100%, and then I would run 2 strings along the face, one at about 900 down, one at 400. These kraals, the top is 1.45 for interest sake, and those 2 strings would line the face up, just to make sure that the side where the poles are going to enclose the working space are obviously flush. I'll use 5.4 6-meter poles. What I do want to do is make sure that these poles run kind of flush with each other along the whole extent of the side. So although this will fill up one whole gap, there's not enough space on this middle pole to bolt 2 different poles on to carry on with the same line. And in this instance, what I do is I like to put a brace on the one side. I'll bolt that on with thread bar. Okay, so here's my brace done. As you can see, I've just secured the one brace onto the other pole that's concreted in. I've got 1, 2, 3 thread bar supports, and what we'll do now is run the parallels either side of this, and obviously just fasten them on to their own brace pole. Such a lovely day. You can see the cattle in the background here, some kraals that have already been completed. Back to business. This is the real trick. So if you're working on your own, there is no other way that I've found that you can keep poles in place while drilling without them running or sliding. So I mark my cross pieces, my parallels with chalk, and makes life easy for me. I just put the clamps on as I go down. DIY stuff, you don't need anyone to help you. These G clamps are an absolute help. So in this case I will secure the middle pole first. What you'll see is I first use a 30mm spade bit. That really just creates a little bit of an indentation for the nut to lie in. Once that's out the way, we just change bits. Yeah, here goes the long 12mm bit. From there, it's a pretty simple process. 12mm rod. You'll see a bit of a recess for the nut to go in. If you just have a look on the other side of the pole, the rod comes out this end. Just need two 19mm spanners here. Obviously I fasten this end because I don't want the bar to protrude too far on the other end. I will tighten the last few turns on the back side of the pole just to make sure that nut is also tight, and then I'll cut this off flush. You'll see there's no edges sticking out here. Bolt runs pretty flush with the pole, and now I'll move on to the next sections to secure those. So it's taken me about an hour or so, but there you'll see two rails are fastened already. That's 11 meters one side of the crawl. Yeah, by lunch I should have done the two bottom ends. You'll see what I mean about my brace. Here I can continue straight with these poles. Obviously they're lying pretty flush, extremely strong, and the crawls look neat and tidy. Folks, and that's the finished side of the corral. 4 rails, vertical poles concreted in, rails all secured with thread bar, and that'll be as strong as ever.